Yeah, so the chamber has been very deliberate and intentional in fostering bilateral trade and investment between Nigeria and Indonesia. Uh, we basically promote uh, Nigerian entrepreneurs that want to showcase the best of what they have to offer to that international global audience. And we also, in the same strength and capacity, invite Indonesian businesses and promoters to Nigeria as well to showcase their products and services. And in that regard, we've been very, very fortunate because that has also translated to a very positive balance of trade between the two countries. So the areas of interest between Nigeria and Indonesia are oil and gas industry, and manufacturing, renewable energy, agriculture, health. When I say health, pharmaceuticals, we have things in mining as well, and defense and aviation. So these fintech is actually another one. So these are areas that we've been able to identify that Nigerians and Indonesians have been collaborating and can further do more collaborations to increase the balance of trade between the two countries.
Okay, so I do remember during your presentation you spoke about how they have collaborated over time and spoke about crude oil like you just mentioned.
Yes.
So can you tell us? Okay, you said the Indonesians love Indonesian kind of name, whatever.
Yeah.
So can you kind of expatiate a bit more on that and tell us the plans that the Nigerian Indonesian Chambers of Commerce and Industry have?
So interestingly enough, all through the year, our calendars are full. But this is the month of August. In another 2 months, we have the 40th edition of the Indonesian Trade Expo coming up in Jakarta. I can say also in the same month, we have the 4th edition of the Nigerian Investment and Trade Forum in Jakarta as well. Now, what we're offering the Nigerian business community is that you buy one single ticket, you get one single visa. Your accommodation, of course, is sorted. So while in Jakarta, Indonesia, you're able to experience the Trade Expo from the 15th of October to the 19th. That's 4 days where you are engaging directly with the manufacturers, with the promoters of these products and services. Now we take a break for 1 day, and on the 21st of October, we start the Nigerian Indonesian Investment and Trade Forum, and the 22nd, we're going on factory visits. The reason why this is set up is that we want to continuously engage both countries. As far as the chamber is concerned, like I said during my presentation, we wrote to the office of the Vice President of Nigeria, and he graciously mandated the PBEC, which is the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, to invite other MDAs, so Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and so many other agencies of the federal government to come with us to Indonesia. Now, last year, we took a delegation of about 138 participants from Nigeria to Indonesia. This year, we're trying to do about 200. And should in case you think that we're just always going to Indonesia, that is not true, because that is probably what you're thinking. Just last month in June, we invited no less than 30 Indonesian companies to come to Nigeria, and they were in Kano, right? While they were in Kano, we invited members of the Nigerian business community. That time around, you don't need to buy a ticket, you don't need to travel internationally, you don't need to get any visa. All we ask is show up in Kano, and for 3 days, Nigerians were able to interact with Indonesian promoters and manufacturers, and we had a very, very good trade transaction within that period. Last year as well in Lagos, we invited Indonesian companies. So it's not a one-off kind of transaction. In 2026, we're already planning a Nigerian Indonesian Trade Expo to be held in Lagos as well, where we probably have like 200 Indonesian companies coming into Nigeria, and we don't have to travel. So we're constantly engaging, we're very intentional, we know what we want to achieve. We want the trade balance in between the two countries to increase. So we're very, very active in that space.
Okay, thank you so much. That was a lot. So you have the whole program run down for touring or something.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not no matter how smooth the collaboration is, of course there will be barrier or challenges. So can you tell us some of those barriers or challenges that you have experienced and how are you able to tackle it?
Okay. So one of the things that we cannot dismiss is the security issue in the country. As much as we want to ignore it, it's a question that is on the table all the time. Because I can't mention a particular state. We're there earlier this year, and we met with the executive governor. But the truth of the matter is there's been a lot of insurgencies. And as far as investors are concerned, they want to come into a system where their investments are safe. So even though we do a lot in promoting and basically showcasing the best of what Nigeria has to offer, the fact of the matter is we're a global community. So someone doesn't need to be physically present in Nigeria to know what the shortcomings are. So these has been some of the mitigating factors. Now, beyond that, as far as Nigeria and Indonesia is concerned, there's something we call currency swap. What happens is that if, as a Nigerian business owner, I want to buy products from China, for example, I'm able to deposit my Naira in my Naira account, and I will present an invoice from China in the local currency, which is yuan or RMB. My bank will look at that invoice and credit the equivalent sum in China yuan to the supplier in China. What that means is that as a business person, I don't have to go to the bureau of change to convert Naira to dollars and eventually send dollars to China. And China will eventually convert dollars to RMB, right? So we're trying to work with the Nigerian banks and the Indonesian government as well to see how we can have a currency swap. So if I'm trying to buy something from Indonesia, again, I deposit my Naira in my account, and they can pay the counterpart supplier or manufacturer the Indonesian rupiah, and that would bridge a lot of gaps. So I think those one or two things we can try to sort out very quickly.
Very, very beautiful one. And that would be nice if that is
Yes, we're working on
quickly sort it out. Okay, so what are your predictions for the future of trade relations between Nigeria and Indonesia, and how will the chamber contribute to this growth?
Thank you so much for that question. So, even though when you talk about the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the main focus is trade and investment. But what we're realizing on a daily basis is that there's a world bigger than that, right? And I'll tell you why. So culture and tourism at times are the bedrock of attracting trade and investment. What do I mean? So Indonesia has a city called Bali. Bali is the #1 vacation destination in the world, right? People from all over the world travel to Bali to have a relaxing time and enjoy themselves. So guess what happens while you're in Bali? You experience that hospitality, you experience that beautiful scenery, that peace and tranquility, and your mind starts to ask, what if I buy a property in Bali? What if I buy the property and I use it for Airbnb? What if I buy a property for my children as an asset or something they can inherit? So you realize that the first intention is, I'm going for vacation. But while you're in this vacation spot, you start to look at options of investment. So we are in the process of trying to promote bilateral tourism between Nigeria and Indonesia, where we take Indonesians and we bring them to the beautiful tourism experiences in Nigeria. Igako says in NICCI there. If you go to Cross River, you know what you have there. You have the Azubu Fishing Festival. You have so many things that are so authentic, so Nigerian, that the world would love to see. And as those visitors come into Nigeria, they can start to see, okay, oh, I love Lagos, oh, I love Ibadan, I love Ekiti, I love Kano. Can I begin to look at possible investments there? Also, on the rivers, you realize that our music, our what I call a creative industry, is doing very well globally. This year or maybe next year, we're looking at organizing a concert in Indonesia where we take Nigerian artists to showcase the best of Nigeria, Hollywood, and the music industry. Again, our music, our art, our culture is loved and accepted globally. We want to export that to Indonesia as well, so that they start to see a different view from trade and investment. There's culture, there's tourism, which we are very strong in. So those are some of the things we're planning to do.
Culture and tourism. And definitely we have a lot of them in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
We have a
Great
lot to
talent.
show.
Yes.
So that would be very, very nice if that can be done.
It will be done, trust me.
Okay, I'm counting on that.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just say, let's just ask this last question before we talk a bit about Rotary.
Okay.
So how can small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs in Nigeria and Indonesia benefit from the Chamber's activities?
Okay. So naturally, for what is what, the Chamber is what I call that ecosystem that breeds entrepreneurship, especially SMEs. SMEs form the bedrock of any thriving economy. You can do the research, and Nigeria is no different. What we do at the Chamber of Commerce is that we encourage SMEs, one, register a business appropriately. The days of doing labs and labs businesses are over. To register a business with CAC now, that's the Corporate Affairs Commission, it's less than 100,000 naira. That's an investment that's more than worth it. Once you're registered as a corporate entity, you have your bank account, you have your office, you can actually join the chamber. And what happens in that ecosystem is that you start to enjoy the benefits of seminars, quarterly chamber meetings, international trade expos and forums. Even when we invite other agencies to come as a member of the chamber, you are exposed to that. And another thing I must say categorically is that even though we're the Nigerian, Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we collaborate with other chambers of commerce and industry. For example, we're a member of NICCI, right? That's the National Association of all the chambers of commerce and industry in Nigeria. We work with the Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We work with Nigerian American. We work with Lagos Chamber. We work with Abuja Chamber. The whole idea is that the programs they are running and the programs we are running, you get to basically benefit from all these things as long as you register and you show up. So as far as the SME is concerned, we are encouraging them, join the chamber, begin to learn from those who have made the mistakes you're about to make. And you don't need to make that same mistake. Learn from their errors and grow rapidly from learning from them. So at times there's mentees and mentors. All that is also available within the chamber as well. So my response is we encourage them to join, and the sooner they do that, I think the better the businesses would benefit. Yeah.
I don't have a business here, but I'm
really?
looking forward to joining.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, yes, because I can't believe we missed out this important question, which is what inspired you to take on the role of president of the Nigerian and Indonesian Chambers of Commerce and Industry? And can you share your vision for the Chamber's future growth and impact on trade relationship between Nigeria and Indonesia?
So, in terms of what inspired me to be the president, I was actually approached to be the president, and I think I'm grateful for the opportunity. It's not something I take for granted, and it's the reason why we do the work we do. Beyond that, the vision that I see for the chamber is that of continuity. I'm not going to be president forever, so it's only natural that we start to build that sustainability processes now. The succession plans, the structure, similar to what I discussed about today. Because the other chambers that you see that's been around for 60 years, like the Nigerian British, the Lagos Chamber for 137 years, is because there's a structured processes in place and people are activating it. So beyond that, the future that I see between Nigeria and Indonesia is one that is full of potentials. Even as we speak, I don't think we've harnessed the potentials enough. What am I saying is, Nigeria now realizes that we have to we have to have what we call food security. That means agriculture needs to take the forefront. We need to produce what we consume, right? If we do that alone, the economy will grow significantly. There's huge opportunities in the fintech space. There's opportunities in renewable energy. There's opportunities in manufacturing. We have one of the biggest, one of the biggest free trade zones in Nigeria. So when you start to look at attracting foreign direct investment, the environment has to be right for that to happen. So if you look at a country like Dubai now or UAE, you see people are going there, they're staying there, they're investing there. It's because psychologically and mentally, they have provided a lot of parameters, a lot of infrastructures that your mind starts to say to you, I want to live in this place, right? Everything works. So even capacity wants a situation where I can leave my house, go to work, do my business in peace and tranquility. If you provide that environment, you don't need to cry about foreign direct investment. They will come chasing you because everybody wants profit. And Nigeria is one of those countries where when you invest here, you can get a very, very beautiful returns on your investment. So I see a future where trade balance between Indonesia and Nigeria is probably going in over $10 billion annually. It is doable, it will be done, but we need to take the appropriate steps to get there.
That's very, that's just wrong. I just wish you could just go on, but obviously you just have to go, okay, well, about Rotary, I'm like, let me use the terminology, say sign up. I think you say sign up. So since you have signed up now,
I've signed up.
You have to sign up.
Yeah, because
it's different from the desktop. So you still have 2 more visits to help yourself. Look forward to having you discuss for the 2 more time and